Howdy folks, July 25th. Weather conditions kind of humid, about 25 degrees. We had rain last night, so the barrels are kind of full. Quite poor solar generation on the solar panels these days because the humidity hanging in the air, plus the smoke from the fires out west. Also been having a few problems with fuses and so on the panels, but solving those as and when they occur. Tomatoes in pretty much full production right now. Big tomatoes, as you can see. I already harvested the fully ripe ones. Not too much damage from the squirrels and chipmunks this year, which is good. As you can see, some of the small fruiting tomatoes are not doing too badly. This time last year, when there were so many chipmunks around, that I was finding a lot of the fruits half-eaten on the ground. Not so much this year, thank goodness. One little issue I've been having is with I grow my own from my own seed, of course, and some of the randomly saved seed are producing these diminutive plants which stop growing. What I'm looking for is the tall ones, like that, you see. That's a good example of what I'm looking for. But I get 1, 2, 3 sort of stunted out of 9. That's 1/3. 1/3 of the plants turns out to be a bit stunted, so I'm working on ways to ensure that those genes get weeded out of the population. Underneath there are grapes, but we can't get to them quite yet. My efforts to suppress the sumacs that have been trying to grow in amongst that thicket there have been fairly successful. I'm quite pleased with that. Oh look, there's some grapes in there. See those grapes? Now, potatoes. The potatoes don't have too much longer to live, actually. We're now the end of July. By the middle of next month, they will start looking very sad indeed, and they will have finished growing. They've not had a very good long season to grow. Disappointing. We'll see. Peppers, I have a bit of a problem with the peppers. As you can see, the plants look pretty good, but the fruits are not appearing. I can't figure out why they're not setting fruit. They produce flowers, and then the flowers just drop off. I'm not a great knowledgeable person with peppers, but I'm gaining experience. Beans are looking reasonable, but should be taller and thicker by now. They were this time last year. Gladiolus, as you can see, they're producing flowers now. This row of beans looks better. Now, these are the sweet potatoes. They're not doing too badly. They will keep growing quite vigorously. The dill finally survived after all the ravages by the swallowtail butterflies that tried to prevent them from going to seed. very good idea to plant my zucchinis along the edge of the pathway, because it means I can get to them really early in the morning and cut when they're nice and plump. So got some good fruits coming along there for seed as well. The squashes, butternut and buttercup, they're looking good, very good actually. Lots of fruits being produced of both kinds. I'm looking forward to good results from them. The beans not looking too bad, but we'll wait and see. We don't know until you actually measure how many beans you get at the end of the year. Planted some lettuces in a spare space here. They will come in good in the fall. This little patch here, I'm keeping the weeds down so that I can easily dig that over in the fall and add that to the working area of the garden. The method of cutting down the weeds between the asparagus plants is having a good effect on bringing on those new plants. I say new, but they have actually been in there a long time. They are strengthening. This is arugula gone to seed, radishes gone to seed, lettuces going to seed, and the tall ones are of course the sunflowers, which have not yet gone to flower. Deliberately growing those for seed so that I can get the seed and then plant the seeds to act as a green crop for next year. The radishes have gone to seed for the benefit of the bees. Lots of bees have been coming in from neighbouring apiaries, and I don't mind helping to feed them. More arugula yet to go to seed, but probably will do soon. Had to tie back the growth of the asparagus, otherwise it was going to lean too far over into the beans. One thing to note about these beans here is that this is a newly expanded area of the garden, and as you can see, even though they're beans, they look as if they are deprived of nitrogen, even though they shouldn't be, because they should have their own nodules, nitrogen seizing nodules, but for some reason they're not particularly active. Well, that's why I'm growing beans there, to try and give them some practice. More weeding to be done there. 2 compost piles going at the moment. The one on the left is quite mature and will be very good for enriching the soil in various places, like where the beans are not doing too well. That pile over there is a bit smelly at the moment, but that's the fresh one. That's the new one. I have to keep turning him to make sure that he gets enough air. These are elderberries, and no doubt in a couple of weeks' time they will start to turn ripe, and the birds will be in to say thank you very much. Well, that's enough for now. Have a good day.